Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the wonderful world of Hexxit. As you can see, yeah, the kind of forge is a little bit different. I decided to go ahead and kind of have more of an in-depth look into the kind of the tools system. I think it's called like Tinkerer's construct mod, and I found some really cool stuff. Mainly, I found that to work with metals, you can't just put everything into this like tool station or this part builder and expect it to work with metals. You actually need to use this, I believe it's called a smeltery, to actually create the metals in certain patterns, and you need that to get. Normally with these things, you use these wooden patterns that I've got in this chest here. That's for like materials like bone and wood and stone, all of which you can use in here. To work, however, with the smeltery, you need metal casts, which are like these. Instead of these wooden things, you basically need these things, but made out of metal. As you can see, I've got some in my inventory just here. And so, excuse me, to basically work with this, you first need to build this smeltery construct. It's essentially pretty much made out of seared bricks, a lot of them. And the way you make seared bricks is you take some sand, you take some gravel, and you take the clay pieces, not the clay blocks, but one of the four clay pieces you get out of breaking a clay block, and you place that in a 4x4 grid with one space empty, and you get some grout, and then you can cook this grout. Grout kind of looks basically like clay mixed with gravel, and you cook this grout in a forge, and you get seared bricks, and you make all these various blocks here with seared bricks. So without further ado, the blocks I've got here are a smeltery controller. This is where you can see how much liquid's in your kind of tub in the middle here. And you can also see how much lava you have left when you're actually smelting stuff. For some reason it doesn't show up when it's not smelting anything. This thing here is sort of like a lava intake. These are just lava containers, that actually takes it in. It's meant to show lava where this hole is, but for some reason that's broken with the Sphax texture pack, so it just appears like it's got nothing in it at all, which is a bit strange, but hey, still works, so I'm kind of glad with that. And over here you have some very special blocks on the side here. As you can see, they've even got holes on the other side here, and these are basically extractors. So they've got a fancy name, but I've forgotten it. They basically drain what's inside here into these basins. And obviously you can put like casts in these basins, and so when the liquid comes pouring out, it will fill up the cast and everything will be good. And so basically the way you make these casts at first is you place, say you've got like a stone or wood tool part, for example like one of these. If I put this wood saw blade in, what I'd do I'd put this in here. Now at the moment it won't work because bronze can't be used for making casts. I've been using, I forgot what the name of it, aluminium brass for making the cast. You can't actually use bronze, which is kind of annoying, but I guess aluminium's probably like a more stable metal or something. That's probably the reason. And yeah, you basically pour it on top, and it will make these molds. So all these molds have been made by all these various bits and pieces that I've made using the wooden stencils or casts or whatever you really want to call them. And obviously I had to make all these. Bronze wide guard I already had, so I just used that. That's from one of the chests earlier. But all these other tools are made out of really basic materials, because of course I can't really make them out of metal before I've made a cast to pour metal into. So now I've got all these casts. I can essentially, I also made some. You can make some blank casts if you pour it in without anything in here, and those can pretty much only be used to make ingot casts, so they're not really that useful. I might be able to recycle them, but so far I found that you can't recycle bits and pieces by just putting them straight into the smeltery again. Typically, the best thing you're meant to use is these ores, the kind of ore blocks rather than the ingots. If you use the ore blocks, you get twice the amount, whereas if you use the ingots, you only get one. Obviously, once you've cast, if you have like an excess flow in here, like I've got here, what I can do is I can get out an ingot cast, and because it's already converted an ore into 2 ingots worth, as you can see it shows the ingot value here, I can essentially get out this, I believe I can just pour this out, get out ingots, and then put the ingots straight back in order to essentially reach the same amount which is in here at the moment. As you can see, I can just keep pouring it in. It takes a little time to cool, but it's kind of worth it. Okay, there should be one more, and we should have a fully drained tank. Each of these glass containers tends to hold about 4 buckets worth of lava, and I've been actually kind of using this for quite a while now, and it hasn't really drained that much, so I don't think fuel's kind of like that much of an issue. You probably won't have to worry about fuel at all unless you're kind of doing some really heavy duty stuff. You can actually automate the entire system, I believe, with redstone and hoppers, but because I'm kind of using it for like only a few things, I'm probably not going to be doing that in Hexxit. Obviously, if it was like Minecraft, I probably would, but it also works with forged liquids. So if you have like the pumps and pipes that you have in like industrial craft and like other mod packs that sort of contain that sort of thing, you can pump stuff out, pump stuff in, and it all works a lot better. But because we don't kind of have that stuff, we're just going to stick with the basic setup. So my plan at the moment is to make a really cool and modified pickaxe using a ore called marcelium. Oh no, wait, that's pretty much the top tier. It's actually better than diamond if you could do the manulin, I'm going to call that. But what I'm actually going to use at the moment is alumnite, which is pretty much the same as diamond, I believe. But obviously you can also add modifications onto it because it's a Tinker's Construct tool. So hopefully by the time we're done with it, it should be better than diamond. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to go ahead and just look up I believe it's 5 aluminum, 2 iron, and 2 obsidian. Luckily I have this all nicely planned out in the chest, so excuse me. So we grab 5 aluminum, 2 iron, and a couple of obsidian blocks, and we should be good. You can't stack these, so you sort of have to put them in separately just by using right or left click. And as you can see, different blocks take different times to sort of heat up, and as they kind of melt, you'll see them appear in the forge here. Obviously right now it's just filled up a layer, and obviously if you want to kind of melt more stuff at one time, you can just make more layers and do it that way. It has got like a little scroll bar here, but because I only have 1 layer, it's only going to let me do, wow, because I have 2 layers, it's only going to let me do 18 blocks at a time. I believe in terms of what it pours out first, it typically pours out, I know on this layer anyway, it pours out the bottom of the forge, so that's why I kind of got rid of the bronze first, because I don't want to keep pouring that out. I want to pour this lovely lovely pink goop we have. Molten aluminium, okay, so still waiting on the iron. I think the iron should probably lay on top of it once it smelts. Yeah, you can't see it there because it's silver, but it's just lying on top of the, as you see there, there's a, a large layer of aluminium and a small layer of iron. And hopefully when these obsidian blocks melt, it should kind of coalesce into one. It looks like it's done nicely. So now we should have molten aluminite. And as I showed you before, wow, actually if we look at the tool station and look at what we need for the pickaxe, we need this head, this tool binding, and this handle. Luckily I've kind of already made castle of them, so I actually made this bronze pickaxe to check if it actually would work, and luckily it did. So yeah, now I'm going to make a better one. I'm actually thinking of, once this is done, I'll show you how I got all the materials for this, because actually found quite a nice way of using the interdimensional portals for my benefit. So now I can just pull this out into all of these molds. Ooh, that looks nice. Lovely and pink. Okay, let's grab these casts back up and shove them back in the chest. Okay, and now we can put this together using the tool station. So if we go to the pickaxe and shove all these different things in, and we've got a pickaxe of reinforced 2. Nice. Typically different materials have different sort of passive ability, so this one has reinforced 2 just as passive. I believe it means it lasts longer, so it's pretty good. Well, I'm also going to grab, because I want to have luck and speed on my pickaxe, I'm going to grab these 2, and what I can do is just pull these straight on, and I don't know if I can. Okay, I think an easier way to put these on, because as you can see, it's got lapis 2 out of 450. What this means is it can obviously have a lot more lapis put onto it, and the more lapis you put onto it, the higher your luck is, as lapis is the luck modifier. And luck basically is like fortune, or something else that is kind of like. Basically, it means you get increased chance of drops from things, so better than that. It's better in that regard. Also, I can use redstone, and redstone is basically meant to increase the speed at which you mine. So I figured that would be pretty good. A good thing to have on a pickaxe, especially because I mainly want something that can mine obsidian. I feel like I'm gonna need quite a lot of it soonish, so I believe I can also bulk put things on, like here. So now I have a luck and haste pickaxe, and that's gonna be great. I'm gonna have to keep. What should I call this? How about the block smasher? It's probably a bit unoriginal, but I think that'll do. The block smasher. Okay. Is that not gonna? Okay, maybe I have to. Nope. Okay, can I not? I have a feeling you can rename it. I'm just doing it wrong. Okay. I think we might have. Okay, we still got the modifiers. Ah, I see. Okay. So redstone can only take up to 50. So probably going to need, because each block will do 9. We're just going to need to put in redstone individually. So we put that in there. Oh man, it makes a really weird noise when you're doing it like that. Oh, I see. So if we go over 50, it then uses up another modifier. Like before, it had a modifier of like 1 modifier left before. So now we can actually use these redstone blocks again, because it's used up the other modifier, but it's gone up to 100. So it looks like you can have holy speed if you really wanted to on a pickaxe. You can also add additional modifiers. There's 2 additional modifiers you can add. One requires a nether star, and the other requires a block of diamond and a block of diamond? No, a block of gold and a diamond, and then you get additional modifiers to put on your lovely tools. So we're just going to quickly wear down the rest. Okay, I might just make the remaining into a block, and then we'll do it like this way. Okay. Put the block in there, and we're nearly up to full on our haste. It's actually got a mining speed of 14.96, which is really good. It's going to be basically taking things out pretty much instantly. And it's got a mining level of cobalt, which I believe is the same sort of level as diamond. The durability is, I don't think it's as much as diamond. I think diamond is about 1,200 or 1,300. So that's a bit of an issue. However, I have a plan to get around that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that gold and diamond block, and then add a ball of moss onto it. And what the ball of moss is effectively going to do is allow it to regenerate its durability over time. So we'll be able to use it for a lot bigger of a time, larger time frame. So that should be good. It's kind of annoying that it doesn't stay in the same slot, so you can't just like bulk do everything. But I guess it kind of works. So what are we up to on the haste? Not haste, fortune. Up to about 56. Okay. I think I might actually not put lapis on anymore, because I really want to use it for another pickaxe I'm going to make, using the, I believe it's called Malicious. I think it's actually quite a. Let's actually have a look at how Okay, yeah, it's made from cobalt and ardite, which I believe you find in the nether. But if you look at the material stats, if you look in this book, you should be able to see the difference between the two metals. So we've got aluminite here, and that thing here. So, as you can see, it's highly durable, pretty much like diamond durability. Mining speed of 9, attack of 2, mining level 5. If we go back to our alumite, it's got a mining speed of 8, so it's actually better. I forgot what I said, 9. It's actually slightly worse. It's got mining level 4, which is worse, a base attack 1.5, which is worse, but it does have the material ability of reinforced, so that's something that's pretty good. What does reinforced do? Let's have a look at the... I believe we should be able to find it in here. I believe what reinforced does is it basically, if when you mine a block, I believe it has a chance not to use the item's durability. So it might be a little better in that way. Obviously, you've got Silk Touch, pretty much. You've got cool stuff like Lifesteal, Fire, Sharpness, which is going to be really good for like swords. Luck, obviously, is adds fortune or looting. So basically, on my pickaxe, it's going to add fortune, I believe, because that's basically what allows you to get extra drops from your blocks. And so increases level at a maximum threshold. Okay. And we have, here's how we make the ball of moss, and what the ball of moss does is it basically adds auto repair to your tool, which is very useful if you don't want to keep repairing it. Obviously you've got speed, which is quite cool. Emeralds for durability. Diamonds for even more durability, and also an increase in mining level. Okay, I think the mining level 3 is diamond. Okay, so we're actually on one more than diamond at the moment. And yeah, I'm not really too fussed about the rest of the ones, as they're not very strong. Interestingly, the cobalt actually has a higher mining speed than manulim, but obviously it doesn't have as much durability. The full tool durability is pretty good still, but it's half. If you really wanted like a fast pickaxe though, just for obsidian, I think going for cobalt might actually be quite a good idea. The only bad thing about manulim is it doesn't really have this kind of base ability. Like the ardite has stonebound, or the cobalt has reinforced. So that's some of the cool stuff you can do with this. I'm going to have a lot of fun. I really want to make like a super awesome sword. I've got this Iron Giant sword that pretty much kills anything in 2 hits at the moment. It is ridiculously cool. I wonder actually how much I've got left of this stuff. About 4 ingots, so I could probably make a sword out of it. But obviously I think I'll probably wait a bit until I can get this. Oh, fell on here. This liquid isn't actually solid at all. However, or neither is the ore you can see in before it melts. However, if you fall in, it will like hurt you because of the heat. Although arguably it's not really that much. I'm kind of worried at the moment because my armor's pretty wrecked. I'm a bit lucky in the sense I've got. If we have a quick look downstairs, and I'll show you the doorway to my mining place. We're looking dilutes. I've got these chest plates as well as a legging, so I'm pretty sorted on that. I think I'd have quite a lot of meteor ore, so enough to definitely make a head plate. Actually, let's do that now. I think if we replace our armor, I wasn't entirely sure how to repair it. So it's got magnetization 1, and these have blast protection, so these are actually quite a bit better. I'm not sure if I can now enchant this, as those ones were mob drops, so obviously they have it kind of they were already enchanted when I got them, so I don't know if I can now enchant this. I kind of doubt it, just because I think this magnetization will kind of prevent it from being enchanted, but hey, we'll see. Probably swap out these diamond boots for some cracknite. They should be about the same armor, so not to worry about that. You can actually make all these different things with meteor drops. I've actually heard a few meteors hit. I believe one of them hit here, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Actually, one of them seems to have hit there. So how about I'll show you my mining trick that I've done, and then we'll get started heading back to just dump all these things in here. Screw it. Go. And then we'll head back and search out a meteor. I've also got a bunch of new heads. It kind of looks morbid at the moment. I'm not entirely sure I like it, but yeah, killing way too much mobs. I feel like the giant sword seems to behead them by default. Well, not all the time, but it seems to have more of a chance. So let's head down. And so this teleports me back down to where I was before, where I fell down that water hole. Obviously, let's actually see how fast this thing is. Okay. I think that's slightly faster than diamond, but not very much. Let's count it. I think diamond's about 10 seconds, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's about half the time, I think, compared to mining diamonds, or mining with diamonds, should I say. One of the things that's helped me a lot, actually, is the magnetization perk of these meteorite things. Just because whenever you mine something, it'll always pull it towards you, so you won't have to worry about it getting hit by lava, or... It's actually something I figured I really want in Skyblocks. If you guys have ever played that or seen people play that. I spent a lot of time with the cobblestone generator, and you know, maybe a fifth of the time the cobblestone would just fall on the lava. So I think having that magnetization perk would be really useful just in Minecraft in general. See if we can... okay. I think I'm probably go back and search out these meteors. Otherwise I'll spend way too much time mining obsidian. I actually need it for a few things, mainly enchantment table, kind of nether portal, that. I still have yet to find out what this thing is here. I searched about and I couldn't find any information on it on Hexxit. It's probably in an obscure thread or something, but we'll see about that. Anyways, let's go search out this meteor. Have to watch out for my helmet. I think it's about gone. Is this zombie around or not? He might be in my little underground thing here. See if I can see him about. Oh no, he's not. Okay. I've got that as a cave to mine all the oreberry bushes, because they only really grow in the dark. Except for the creeper essence, which I believe grows in the light. I've got some growing over there, and it seems to be doing quite fine. I'm not entirely sure if it gets a speed bonus, maybe, in the dark, but... Because you actually find quite a few of these things growing over lava, which is a bit weird, because they're meant to only work in the dark. Also, the creeperberry bush is meant to explode if you get too close. But from what I've seen, it pretty much doesn't. It's not very accurate on that. It just hurts you if you walk into it, so... I guess that's kind of too many things are happening. Oh hey, it's actually right next to it. Let's go grab that. I love these stars because you can't really make much out of them. They make a cool block, but that's about it. It's more like a vanity thing. The sound they make though is pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and mine this up. I think this should give us... Do I need... No. Is this giving me anything? Oh, it is. Cool. Just seems to be a chance if I get it or not. Here we go. Get out of here. Oh god, he's actually, Okay, that actually took quite a lot of damage from that. Right, apparently these things are cooling down, so we better go mine him up quick. See if we can get as much ore as possible. So it looks like they cool down, and you have to kind of be really fast on the mining. I think I read about this before. So it's basically kind of like a race to grab the ore, which is pretty cool. So I'm just going to keep mining this out. Kind of glad that I got this pickaxe now, so I can actually mine with some speed. Okay. Looks like the ones on the surface seems to go the quickest, so... I wonder if you set them on fire, do they not cool down, maybe? Maybe that's the thing. I'm glad I'm getting getting the double drops in these from the fortune is quite nice. Especially as there's quite a lot of it, so... Let's get that one in the corner. Okay. There's a lot of obsidian here now. I wonder if it stops cooling down after a bit, and you're just left with some that you can mine by default. Who knows? Maybe some lapis. Woo! Okay. Is that it on the blocks I can mine? Oh, there's a few down there still.